Literally clearings or fixing or changing um, is something that we've been doing on our spiritual pathway. We actually love, wanting to be better, fixing things, changing things, moving through things, learning from things. And it's really been a big part of like anyone's work, really, in the spiritual work realm. And so it's really important. Well, the message that I've been getting through is that there's so many different elements that we need to look at right now in response to this, and also a lot of things that we need to acknowledge. So the first thing that we do need to acknowledge is that there is no right or wrong way to do anything. So what I'm about to say is just the information that I've received. If it resonates with you, that is awesome. If it doesn't, it's actually awesome as well, because we are all on different spiritual pathways. And again, there is no better pathway. There is no higher or anything like that. It's just different experiences as you evolve and grow. And that's really, again, this group is all about our evolution with the universe. And so this is where a lot of the work that I do is all around this evolving and changing. And so even if you look at the concept of the changing and the fixing, the information that I got on the weekend was that where we are at a point, again, if it doesn't resonate with you, that's actually okay. It just means that this could be something that may resonate in the future. But right now, if this does resonate, this is a message for you. We're at a point where we are allowed to be in the current moment right now and actually just be okay with being in the current moment without actually referring back to the past. So say, for example, if we had a disease or an injury or whatever, and we would look at, well, what is the thought process that's created that? Or if we have a block and we go, okay, so how can we clear that block or whatever? That's part of the spiritual journey, has been learning about those things and being able to find out more about ourselves through those things. However, where we're evolving now and where we're moving into is we're moving into like from the something to the nothing to the everything from a universal perspective. So if we are constantly reviewing and going through things that we need to keep looking at or whatever, we're actually going back into the past for a start and looking at thought processes and awarenesses from the past as to what's creating our current situation. The universe has kind of whispered to me and said, you know what, it's actually time that you be okay. I'm giving you permission to actually not have to do that anymore, and that we don't actually have to go back into the past to clear anything or to fix anything or to change anything. We're allowed to be in the current moment right now and be in the nothing. Again, that actually is the next step to the everything, which is kind of where a lot of us are playing with, is that being in the nothing. So being in the nothing, what does being in the nothing means? And if I'm in the current moment and I'm being in the nothing, what does that mean? Being in the nothing means that you can actually be like, if I'm looking at myself and I'm looking at myself talking right now, strange, but anyway, if I'm looking at myself right now and I'm looking at myself talking now, that's okay, because all I'm doing is talking and nothing else actually needs to matter right now as I'm talking. That is being in the nothing. Like, it's like I can just be here and have no thoughts. I can be here and literally as I'm talking, I'm not thinking this stuff. I'm literally just receiving it and just talking as I'm receiving it. So so there's no thoughts, there's no back unconscious thoughts, which is I should be thinking about what I'm doing, or how is this being perceived or whatever. There's none of that. It's literally like I'm just here and I'm present talking to you, or actually talking to myself for you, through you. And that's even the concept of time or space. It's like, well, we're not even going to look at what time it is. We're not going to look at where I am. It's literally just I am here in this moment just talking to you. So in actual fact, we're allowed to do that, and we don't need to keep going back into the past to find out what created whatever our awareness is in this current moment, because we're allowed to have the awareness of something in this current moment, which might be a block, an injury, or whatever the awareness is. And we're allowed to just go, well, that's just from the past. And I'm allowed to just be in the nothing in this current moment, and give yourself the space to allow new stuff to come in. We're literally evolving to the point where we are opening up parts of ourselves as humans that haven't been accessed. I'm not going to say never been accessed before, because there have been people, of course, on the planet that have probably accessed it before. But for us humans, lowly humans on the planet, there's these things, I don't want to call them gifts because it puts a label on it. There's these things that we have access to, which, again, they're not better, they're not good, they're not higher or anything like that. They're just different experiences as a person on the planet. So if you think about the experiences that we've had in the past, they've always been, I've been limited, I've been stuck, I've been struggling, blah, blah, blah. Through being in that's being in the something. That's being in the labels of what things are. That's being in the thinking. That's being in the hard. That's being in all of that, right? So we've experienced that as, souls in a body on a human planet, having a human experience. We're actually allowed to say, well, I've ticked that off and it's done. And so if you do actually have any awarenesses come up now, you can actually then say, I've done that. Oh, good awareness, but you don't need to clear it. You don't need to do anything. You can actually just go, tick it off, it's done, and then come back to the current moment with none of it. And then that means just playing in the nothing. So you're being in the nothing, and you're thinking nothing, you're being nothing, and you're allowed to just do something. Again, this is the beat you have, right? So this is where, if you do have an awareness, like I'm talking about, doing clearings, but at the end of the day, there's nothing to clear if we're just here current with each other, looking at what I'm saying, and I'm listening to what I'm saying, and that's the only thing that really matters, and we're allowed to do that. And then what happens when I'm finished with this, I can then do whatever else wants to be done there without actually having to carry the baggage, without having to carry the stuff with me from the past. If we have an awareness of something from the past, that's good, but we can go, well, that can stay there, and I'm allowed to actually have different experiences here. What then is going to start to happen is that we're going to get access to more by doing that. So I just want to jump in and just say, we're now, we have been for a little while, but the message has come through pretty clearly on the weekend that we are being, it's been highlighted again that we are allowed to be in this current moment with each other and have no thoughts, but other than just really enjoying exploring the possibilities, exploring what wants to come through, what else do we want to experience? And it's endless. So when the head goes, oh, well, if I've got no thinking and I'm not worrying about something, what am I going to think or do? It's like there is endless experiences that we can have once we get out of the head and we're able to really step into these. So I may be starting to change things up a little bit around the concept of clearings. And let's just see, as we're playing in the nothing, again, what else wants to come through by being in the nothing. You can't have an experience. This is the thing. This is why, if it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay, because there's more steps to be had to be able to understand what that looks like or whatever. And again, it doesn't make it good or bad, right or wrong. It's just a different experience. Then once we experience being in the nothing, then no one can tell you what that next step looks like, because, or even what it looks like to be in the nothing, because you've got to be in it, you've got to do it, you've got to experience it. And then something else opens up, and this is called evolution. So it's like something else opens up, and so you step into that, and then you play around with that, and you be in that, and then another thing will happen. And really, that's the essence of the work that I do. So it's just like, let's just play in this energy. Let's just really enjoy being in the nothing, not having to carry the baggage from the past, the hereditary stuff from the past, anything from the past. We're allowed to actually have different experiences right now, and be brave as you step into the new experiences. Again, really, is there a concept of being brave when you're just being, because you're just being and then doing? So even the concept of being brave is actually still a thought. So anyway, play around with the being in the nothing, being in the current moment, and watch and see how, as we're evolving, there will be nothing to fix, clear, change, or anything, because it is constantly changing anyway. Change is a natural part of being. We don't have to do anything for change to occur. It actually then naturally does happen. The more we step into this, the more we'll experience this. So I'm asking everyone, maybe this week or whenever you're getting the message, is to step into this, step into the experience of not having to carry the baggage from the past, and let's just be here right now. And I always say, watch the world respond to you, watch your experiences start to change, watch your reality start to change through these experiences. So have fun with them, play around with them. If you have any resistance coming up, that is still bad. That's not bad. That is still just thinking. And you can decide whether you want to play in the resistance, if it feels good, or if there is actually something else that you want to play in. So using your intuition to be able to tell you what your next steps are, where you're going, and also just tuning into this pathway of experiences that we're having here, because it's unlimited, and we're really just getting in a little bit of a snippet insight into what these are. So have fun with this. We give you full permission to leave everything in the past, that you can start fresh every single second of every single day, because you're allowed to now, which is really exciting. So I'll see you guys soon.